IIT Delhi Director, Professor Ram Gopal Rao, to share his thoughts on the topic with us.
Okay. Very good evening to all participants and very good evening, Professor Ram Gopal Rao. He is Director IIT Delhi and and Natasha, thanks for giving introduction, giving an opportunity to welcome the Professor Ram Gopal Rao. The Professor Ram Gopal Rao, he has very kind and has agreed to speak about what the role alumni can play during this JEE exam, which is scheduled to in the next month of 1st to 6th September. It is so we'd like to hear the thoughts of the Professor Ram Gopal Rao. He is the chairman of IIT Delhi Alumni Association also, and he will guide us and he will give the advice and how being a chairman of IIT Delhi Alumni Association, how we have to take what constructive role and positive role IIT Delhi alumni can and the student can play in the upcoming JEE exams. So I welcome Professor Ram Gopal Rao, Director Sir, and I would request you to share your thoughts and what is your expectation from the your alumni and including the students, because and the aspiring students who are preparing for the JEE exam. If you want to share some thoughts, that will also welcome, sir. So over to Professor Rao. Sir, voice. Sorry.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, thank you.
For that. So, thank you. Nice meeting with all of you. I think it's good that you are organizing this event as part of the IIT Delhi Alumni Association activities, and this is also the right time. I think everywhere now there is a debate on the JEE examinations, and this time students are particularly under increased amount of pressure, because of the COVID and even about the uncertainty about the examinations. There are many students who are writing to me saying that, just tell us whether the exam is going to happen or not, and we're not able to bear with this sort of an uncertainty. So this uncertainty is causing them additional stress. I think, during this time, the successful alumni, we have cleared this exam with flying colors, and for them to be speaking with the alumni, for them to be speaking with the students on how to take the exam, how to handle the pressure. I think these are this is a very important event. We are very happy that you are organizing this event. But I also wanted to request you one thing. One of the IIT Delhi is actually the organizing institute this year for the JEE Advanced examination. As you all know, the JEE Mains and NEET are conducted by the NTA, the National Testing Agency, but the JEE Advanced
I think there has been some network glitch. Professor Rao, we are not able to hear you.
Yeah, Natasha, just give the chat, private chat. Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But still,
there was a problem. I don't know what happened, but
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I think one of the things we are also doing is to increase the number of centers. This time we have doubled the number of centers for the JEE Advanced examination, which is on September 27, and we have taken lot many precautions in terms of maintaining the social distance and all of these kind of norms, and they're all listed now on the website. So we are doing all of that. But there are still a few students, we don't know how many of them, who are in remote areas, and they are all claiming that we will not be able to reach the examination center because we cannot afford the private transport, and we do not still know whether the state governments will make any special preparations for them during these times. But there are some students who are writing to us, about the transport requirements to reach the centers, and they are saying we are from poor families, our parents cannot afford the private transport. So what do we do in these situations? I think that is where I would like to appeal to all the IIT Delhi alumni and even the IIT Delhi students, because IIT Delhi students also come from all over the country now, and even those good people in the society. I think as citizens we all need to help each other. So can we create a portal? We will create, if IIT Delhi Alumni Association can create a web portal, we will popularize the web portal where students who need some help, particularly these students who come from very poor family kind of backgrounds, financially cannot afford private transport to reach the centers, they will register. We will seek all the details from them, and then if we can connect them with the alumni or students who are in the nearby areas, because all students are now taking classes from their homes, so they are all that way in those hometowns. So if we can connect these students who require transport with IIT students and alumni who are in the vicinity, I think they probably can take care of that. So even arranging a private transport for them and providing them some kind of a financial help to reach the centers, I think some of this we need to do. If it is a pan IIT movement which is led by IIT Delhi alumni, because we are the organizing institute, if we can coordinate with the alumni associations in other IITs and alumni of other institutions, as well as the students of other institutions, to this web portal, I think that will ease the pressure for at least this section of students who are claiming they are not able to afford private transport. So I reach out to these children web portal. I think we would be doing a great service to the nation. So that's all what I wanted to mention to you. Otherwise, thank you very much, and I wish you all the best for this webinar.
Thank you very much, sir. Thanks you very much giving your thoughts and giving your time. And certainly, sir, we already spread the news about the among the alumni, and they are very excited. They say it's a very big cause and initiative that as a responsible citizen of this country, the alumni should come forward, and they are very enthusiastic, and they thought it's a very good idea. And I told them that this idea was given by the director, Professor Ram Gopal Rao only. I am just communicating his idea, and I request him that he will say the few words. So two things you have highlighted: one is the transportation, another is the connecting. So we are 52,000 alumni across the world, but we in India also we have a lot of presence. Then apart from our own alumni strength, we have the family friend strength. So we have good network, and we are almost your alumni is almost present in every hook and corner of the country. So, and since you have suggested it should be pan IIT, so that is a further our reach will increase further, and I hope that now with the connectivity of the mobile phone and other digital tools available like website, will be in position to help the needy students. And already we have we already in our IITD Alumni office we have the this thing mask we can distribute that, sanitizer we can do it. And we can make the private the arrangement also, so that will definitely will do it. And we have already have got some suggestions. Somebody told me that we should have a before our web portal comes into picture, let's have the create a Google form on the our website, and then circulate among the alumni, those who are they can give the location where they are. And so accordingly already some initiatives started. We are just talking to other my fellow alums to make the portal also. So definitely, sir, we'll do this thing. And as you suggested, we'll have a one web portal, or we'll reach through our vast network. And we'll take your words forward, sir. And we'll many hope that we'll do it. And I'll come back to you with my concrete plan of action and with a good result also. So thank you.
Sir, I have a question if you can answer. This Ritesh Dahiya. So we are talking about this initiative is for JEE Advanced exam, right?
We will see. I think the Alumni Association will decide. The JEE Mains is only a few days away.
Yeah,
If we
because
can
there
even
will
reach
not
out to
be.
the main students. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
there
think the
will not.
Alumni Association will take a look at it.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Bye.
So, yeah, thank you, Natasha. Now you can, I think, because a lot of students will be there, parents will be there. So now I request you to take to webinar to our, I mean, those participants and those attendees who are listening, please come forward to help. This is like what the director has appealed to all of us. So I request those who are attending, our participant, parents, and whichever way they can help, please, apart from the alumni, I request them also. Now over to Natasha. You can have our regular webinar.
Thank you so much, Ravindra. So starting with today's topic. So having gone through the entire process of IITG preparation myself, I know the hardships that a JEE aspirant faces. IIT JEE actually is a test that judges your emotional and mental level equally. Uh, there are diverse approaches to these exams, and no single approach is there that fits all. It's very subjective to each student. So this webinar is here to address the same. Today we have a very esteemed panel with us to guide us on this subject. So let me welcome our first panelist, Ritesh Dahiya, who is BTech from IIT Delhi in Electrical Engineering, batch 1999. Ritesh has spent 13 years of his career in the IT industry, serving top companies both in India and abroad. In, in this time, he has worked with people from 16 nationalities and has programmed in 13 different programming languages. He is also a certified leadership and corporate trainer. 9 years back, he came back to his hometown, Kota, and has started teaching life skills and physics to IIT JEE and NEET aspirants. So welcome, Ritesh, to the panel.
Thank you for having me. All right.
Thank you. We also have with us Anagh Prasad. Anagh was All India Rank 1 in the first ever edition of IIT JEE Mains in 2013. He joined IIT Delhi with All India rank of 66 in JEE Advanced and graduated from the Department of Computer Science and Engineering with gold medal for all-round achievement. He is also an Aditya Birla Scholar and ACM published computer science author and recipient of multiple other academic awards from India and abroad. He is currently working with Steadley's Venture Partners, where he looks into investment in early stage Indian startups. I welcome Anagh.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much to join us today. So, during my time of studying and preparing for IIT, those 2 years, though, it was a great experience for me. So, Anagh, I would like you to share, how was your experience while the preparation? Did you enjoy study? How was it for you?
Sure. Thank you. Yep, I think, and I'm talking about JEE even 7 years after giving the exam. So definitely that is one period of life which sticks with me, and I think it is going to stick with me forever because it was a life-changing moment as such. And I say this not just in terms of the career kind of path which JEE puts you on, but it is more from the mindset change which is triggered by actually understanding what goes behind the questions in physics, chemistry, maths. That is, I think, the only way that one can do well at the joint entrance examination, be it mains or advanced. And that is why I respect the exam so much, because it's standardized, first of all, so it's equal for everyone. Second is that it actually tests things which goes deep into the concepts, and it forces all candidates to question what they have been learning, to question their own concepts, and then come up with answers themselves. Only when someone goes through the entire pain cycle as such is one able to come out and emerge with a skill set which is needed to do well at the exam. And I think that one particular piece, that you need to get to the depth of something to become good at it, that kind of behavior stays with everyone who ends up giving this exam seriously. And this is independent of the fact, I think, of whether you get a good rank or not. whatever rank you give, whatever rank you get, if you're able to do and take this task seriously, then some life-changing habits get developed into you. And I
Definitely.
think everything that I do right now, I start relating to what I was doing class 11th and 12th, because I think I was performing at my highest efficiency back then. So those lessons have become life lessons for me. So definitely enjoyable.
Of course. Thank you so much for sharing your experience. So, it's such a vast syllabus. Earlier at my time, there used to be just one exam for JEE, but now we have two separate exams, IIT JEE Advanced and IIT JEE Mains. And, some students, they are not very sure of how do they need different strategies, or, it's just one single uh, strategy which will work for both the exams. So I would like to ask my next question to Ritesh. So since he being a teacher himself, teaching so many students every year. So Ritesh, I would like to ask you. So do students need a separate strategy for IITJE Advanced and IITJE Mains?
Quick answer is definitely yes, and longer answer is that how they need to go through various subjects and how they approach based on whether they are focusing on mains and advanced. So definitely if you are focusing on advanced exam, you may want to do well in mains as well, because that will give you a chance to appear for exam. So right now there are like if you talk about mains exam, every year there are two exams for mains. Normally in a normal session, I'm not talking about the COVID year, they happen in January and in April, and then based on the based on the best of your performance in these two exams, few students, I think around 2 lakh students, they get to appear for their advanced exam. And definitely strategy wise, it is very different. I mean, not so different, but at the same time very different if you are preparing for both. Like first thing that I would like to point out is that you as a student, you should always focus on what is the part of your syllabus. So it is very important that you know your syllabus very well, and one way or the best way of doing that is going through the previous year question. So if you are conversant with the topic, your concepts are clear, and if you are conversant with your previous year question, if you know how you have solved them and how you can solve them, so that will give you an edge. So talking about the difference between these two, there are some chapters which are, or some sections of the chapter which are part of only mains, and they are not part of advanced. There are some chapters or some sections of the chapter which are part of advanced, but may not be part of mains. So it is important that you know your syllabus and content well. And one another difference is that if you talk about mains, number of questions are more. Examination time is 3 hours for both exams. Since number of questions are more in mains, so there's not much depth. But if you talk about advanced, there is much more depth in that exam. So for each and every question, you need to spend more time on that, on that particular question. So practice and depth will help you a lot. So definitely there are different strategies, and good teachers and good institutes will always guide you on that.
Thank you, Ritesh.
Hmm.
Uh, Okay, so that was about the exam and the syllabus that we need to cover. But somewhere everybody feels that all study and no play makes Jack a dull boy. So apart along with the studies, it's very important that when we are in 11th, 12th, 13th, it's like the prime time going through. We are changing phases of our life. Most of the students, everybody is going through puberty. People love to make friends, they have a social life, it's very important to maintain that as well. So I would like to ask my next question to Anang, that Anang, what would you say, how to optimize the self study time and balance other interests with a very serious JEE preparation? you know uh, would you say that there is some art and science behind all the planning that goes on? What would you suggest, how to optimize the time?
Sure, sure. Yep. So I think I do not have a prescriptive answer to this. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep. There was some lag, I guess. Yeah. So I do not have a prescriptive answer to this. Prescriptive, by that I mean that this is the number of hours you should study, this is how you should plan your day, this is how your routine should look like. Because frankly speaking, this is all talk in the air. I think everyone, like if given a chance, everyone can take a notebook and pen and just write down that this is the syllabus and this is how I want to do it. But it doesn't get to implementation as such.
Uh,
I think we lost him.
yeah, I think we lost Anang. He
I
just
think
joined back.
he's joined
Yep,
Yeah,
back.
I think I lost connection.
no
I'm not
problem.
sure
You
at
may
what point I was
continue.
lost. But yep, I'll get back to the important pieces. So I was
Yeah.
saying that I cannot have a prescriptive answer to this. As in, I do not like the answers in which you say this is the number of hours you have to study, or this is you should stop playing, you should stop going out. Because I think depends from person to person on how they're implementing things. It's making a plan is very easy. It's figuring out what the syllabus is, and then after they're figuring ki I'll study 12 hours a day, 14 hours a day. Everyone can do that, but implementing it is harder because there is a gap there, and that gap is a mind construct gap. And I think that was the key. I think realization which I had even before writing the book, that when you are thinking about the planning, you have to first figure out why do you need to plan. And I think the main answer there is that you need to first realize that you have to plan your life as a whole. You can't have silos when you're planning some things out, that this is going to be the exam, this is my relationships, this is my family, this is my hobbies, and so on. As long as these are in different silos, you'll always have internal conflicts. It is never going to be optimal. So you have to start thinking from a life point of view. So first is that when I was giving JEE, I did not think that this is the end of all my life. Like whatever happens, I just have to get the JEE rank and get done with it. That is not, I would like recommend people to think about it. So you have to first understand what do you want to achieve in life, or where do you want to be, what are the things that give you happiness. So where do you see yourself in the long run, 3-4 years from now, 2 years from now, 2 months from now, even 2 weeks from now. Once all these questions, answers to these questions, they start getting aligned, I think then that is when magic actually happens, because then everything that you do is connected to the other thing. So the concrete example for this is, let's say I've set like JEE to be my 2-year goal. Then I've automatically decided that in the next 3 months, I'll be covering, let's say 20% of the syllabus, which is say 20-30 chapters. And if that is decided, when we come to weeks, then I know for the next 2 weeks, I have to cover these three chapters from these three subjects, because otherwise it just won't add up. When it comes back to the days, then you have to plan accordingly, that this is my weekly goal. This is where I was last week, and I have to cover this many chapters. Once we go start thinking about it in this top-down manner, then we have a very clear view of what lies ahead. And then actually only then it is possible to cover goals and not just times. So you'll see that like the child A and child B, they both of them will say that I've studied like 50 hours this week and 50 hours this week, but both of them end up with very different outcomes, because one was trying to optimize the number of hours, the other was trying to optimize the goals that he or she is getting completed.
Yes, true.
So I think that is the only change, which is a very small and subtle change, to be honest. It's like no insight. I do not claim to have any psychological insight or any research of that sort. I have not done that. But this is a realization which I had, which worked like magic for me 7-8 years back. And this is exactly what I put in the book. And I've talked to, I would say, at least hundreds of JEE candidates who have given the exam over the last 7 years. Everyone you talk to in the top 10 or top 100, they will never say that this is the number of hours I will study, like this is my goal and so on. They'll always tell you that this was the process by which I completed this particular syllabus.
Okay.
All right, I agree with Anang on that. Since I have been teaching JEE and NEET students every year, and many of them, they get selected. So one thing, I mean, I agree with what Anang has said. One thing is, like what he has said is there are few enlightened students, maybe Anang is one of them, who gets this clarity at the age of 15, 16 or 17, when you are in class 10th or 11th and you are appearing for your JEE exam, that you can think about or talk about what your goals are. Majority of student, in fact, I am one of them, and I know at least many of my batchmates and my juniors, they were like that. When we decided to appear for IIT JEE exam, it is. I mean, I'm not saying whether it's good or bad or right or wrong, but this is what it is right now. This is what the Indian culture and society or the scenario is, that you have been good student from let's say class 5 6 to 9 10th, and you got good marks in a board exam, and then by default right now the construct is that you will appear for IIT JEE or NEET exam. Right. So if you are good in biology, people will take biology. If you are not good in biology, people tend to take NEET, sorry, JEE exam. That's how the construct is. So, I will not be able to say anything on this, whether this is the right one or the bad one or good one, doesn't matter. But this is what is. So my point is, if you have decided to take IIT JEE seriously, then you need to figure out what your syllabus is, how you are going to study and where you are going to study. And then again, strategies, again, it's as Anang said, it is not a generalized one. But at the same time, if you, as an educationist, if you are talking to general people, there are some generalities into it as well. Say, for example, this is what my suggestion is, that if you are in class 11th and 12th, this is what we suggest to students, and again, it does not apply to all of them. Some are magic creatures or some are better than others. They can manage play, and they can manage sports, and they can manage relationships, and they can manage other things as well. But for most of the students, it does happen in my classroom, it does happen in our institutes, it does happen that if they fall into one of these or they spend time in video games, or they spend time in sports and others, so they tend to lose focus. So it is very important. This is what we say in our student. Again, it may not be the right advice from morality or sociality and all those point of view, but if you are preparing for IIT JEE and NEET exam, let's talk about JEE. So for those 2 years, your distractions should be minimum. Be it your video game, be it your social media, be it your sports, be it your relationship, or anything. So you should focus most of your time on studies. And for some people, 8 hours is enough. For some people, even 12 is less. So if you are one of those, if 12 hours is not giving you input, add more. The जितना ज़्यादा मीठा डालेंगे, that's what they say, उतनी ज़्यादा rank आपकी अच्छी होगी. जितना effort डालेंगे, and there's nothing called over effort in this particular exam. These are my thoughts on the same
Yeah.
thing.
Just a
Yes.
second before move to the next question. I think the last point in particular, sir, I echo a lot. There is nothing like which is like over effort or under effort. It's once you fix a goal, then you do whatever it takes. So like someone will take half an hour to cover a syllabus, and I've known such like born geniuses kind of people, and we meet them regularly in IT campuses. That they can do the same thing in half an hour, which for which you will need 3 hours. But you know, don't need to get disheartened by that, because
Right.
if you fix on the like goals rather than the processes, that this is what I have to get to, then you'll stop playing mobile games or whatever it takes, or like apne aap. And that's why I
Uh,
think this that's why I think before you start working very hard for a goal which is as important or as meaningful, I would say, as JE, you need to answer to yourself why you're doing it. Like if it is actually being pushed just by the society or just by the parents, it is going to be hard. Maybe for the 2 years you will slog out. Maybe you'll get a good rank also. But if this habit doesn't change of only getting inspired by others, then this will, I think, will come back to bite students like once,
Again,
like sometime in life.
I would say that is not a topic of debate or discussion for our
Yeah.
webinar. It's again
Uh,
whether you should prepare or not. That's a separate scenario. But
Yeah,
if you are preparing, if you have decided for whatever reason, if you have decided, then put everything. That's what I would say.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. No, no, no. So
Yeah,
there's
I
no
agree.
debate there. But yeah, that's
just
what I'm saying. So once you've
yeah.
decided, you should know that why you're
Definitely.
doing it. If you keep answering yourself now that this is what I want, this is what I want, then you'll never have such distractions. So that those distractions will go away on their own. If you're clear in your head that why you want it.
Yeah, exactly. So just to add on to the points that has been presented, I would say, uh, it's not always good to compare yourself with somebody else, because you have a very different way of studying and other person might have a very different way of studying. And as Ritesh and Anagh has already mentioned, maybe their 4 hours is not equal to your 3 hours. They need more time, and you cannot compare study hours. You have to compare how much percentage you are completing. And maybe when you are in 11th and you just started going through the syllabus, you may face some difficulty getting used to just sitting and concentrating. It is actually, very honestly, it is not that easy to just sit, say that one day I'm going to start preparing, and you just sit 8 hours straight and start studying. It's not like that. You have to actually, with time, you have to develop a habit. Maybe for first 2-3 days you try to sit for 2 hours, and then gradually, as you move on, the syllabus increases, you increase your sitting time. And once you have developed that interest, it would be very easy for you to optimize your self study time with your social life. You don't have to actually give up everything else. You just have to learn how to manage, and
Right.
especially how to manage your time.
Hmm.
And
And
once your concentration shifts from, like, that uh, you have that attitude of 10th standard student, and once it shifts from a 10th standard student to a IIT aspirant, your focus will, you know it has already shifted to something else. You will not have to put extra effort to divert yourself from something else. You have already diverted, and your focus is on something else. Now it will automatically, with time, as you go with the syllabus, you will start feeling that now you take interest, and you start automatically start managing your time. So it's very slow and gradual process, and it happens. And the thing is, you don't have to compare. It's like, तुम्हें कितना टाइम चाहिए कितना सिलेबस करने के लिए, डजंट मैटर किसी और को कितना चाहिए. You just have to focus on yourself and develop your own pace with time.
very nice, very well said.
Yeah.
To add to that, one commonality that I have observed in my so many years of experience as a teacher and as IIT Delhi student and then working in the industry, one common factor that I have seen, one commonality, is that everybody that go into IIT Delhi, and I have worked with other IIT students as well. So one is that they are smart, and on top of it, they put in a lot of hard work. So that hard work or amount of hours that you need to spend, even as a programmer, when I was working, in the industry. So you can be super smart, but if you are not putting hard work, you will not get the result eventually. And 11th and 12th, and for students who have clear 12th and appearing for the for one more attempt, so that entire time hard work should go into your preparation, and there's no easy way around. It's not a difficult, worth it definitely, but it's not an easy journey. I mean, even the preparation is not an easy journey.
That's how JEE test you,
Definitely.
emotionally. You have to have that control, and you have to build it.
Definitely.
Ritesh, there's a throbbing question that keeps coming up every now and then.
Hmm.
These days, it's a digital world, I would say, these days.
Okay. Yeah.
We have such a vast pool of resources available online. There are classes going on.
Mm.
There are institutes which are just set up online.
Mm.
There are so many, there are so many coaching institutes. We know Kota, Delhi, everywhere. There are
Mm.
so many institutes. Along with that, there are books. There is so many study materials. A student gets confused. In my time, I remember, when I had to go and choose ki शुरू कहाँ से करना है, कोचिंग करें, नोट्स
Very
करें,
nice.
क्या करें.
Huh.
There are so many resources now, and now it's like it's so much. The
Mm.
internet is full of it. Students, sometimes happen, they start with one coaching class, go to another, then they're like, nahi, self study kar lete hain, ye kar lete hain. There are so many options. Students don't know where to start. Then middle, they get to know, let's move to this, and they waste a lot of time in the process.
Yeah.
Keeping in mind that how important it is to choose a resource while starting.
Mm.
The first step itself, when you have to choose a resource, to where to start, we
Mm.
should have a strategy. So what would you advise and suggest our students about this strategy of initially choosing the resource?
All right. Again, there's no one single answer to this. Again, it will depend on the city you are in. It will depend on kind of performer you are in. It will depend on what are the resources that are available. Up till 2019, and I'm going to emphasize on this part, up till 2019, major contribution of people who get selected in IITs was coaching institutes. So they appear for one coaching institute, whether they were, and again, I'm not saying it from a right or wrong point of view. There are very less number of students in IITs that get selected only via self-study or only via school preparation. I mean, that is not my personal opinion. That is what the data says. So if you actually talk to people or students who are in IIT Delhi, Mumbai, Kanpur, Madras, so most of the students who actually cross that borderline, they have gone through some help, or they have gone through these institutes, or some kind of offline, online, whatever, but that was required. Very few. I'm not saying it is not possible, and not saying they are rare, but if you talk about statistical data, usually people are associated, and these teachers or these institutes, they become as catalysts. So it doesn't mean if I'm a physics teacher, but if I take chemistry example, so reaction is going to happen, but catalyst will make it fast. Catalyst might make it smoother. So that's how these resources are. What has happened after 2019, or due to this COVID, that lots and lots of online institutes, they have also come up. So online, I mean, not gonna name any one of them. But what has happened for them is offline. All of a sudden, it stopped, and now everybody I mean, they want to spend their time, and they want to don't want to waste, and they want to learn, utilize this time. So they have been focusing, on these online courses as well. But what has happened with these online courses or these online companies is that all of a sudden, a lot of flux, or lot of influx, or lot of students, they have come up, and they were not ready for it. As of now, they were not 100% ready for it. It was not an organic process. For coaching institutes, they have come up to a certain size, and this process has been organic. So they got these number of students based on something they learned, and then they go to the next one next year, and based on their learning, or syllabus change, or exam pattern change, so coaching institute, so this entire process was organic. These online institutes, all of a sudden, everything stopped, and they got this focus, so they were not match ready at that point in time. So in today's scenario, now if I compare the kind of things that they are doing on their online platform, I mean, it's not bad, but it's still not that ready. They will take at least a year or maybe two. Having said, comparing online and offline, so as a student, you should always choose based on what is available to you first. I mean, that is the requirement. Second is based on the pattern of the result, or the success, or the learning that resource that you are choosing has gone through. Because in the process of your IITJ examination, or clearing that examination, that teacher and parents and students, I mean, I always say this is a triangle, and of course your own effort. So this triangle is the support system. Teacher supports the student, parents support the student, and all the resources that you are support. And then as a student, you need to put in your effort or your hard work on top of it. So it is very important to figure out what are the best resources. So if we talk about physics, so there are so many books available, there are so many publishers, there are so many. So then you need to figure out, and you need to talk to a teacher, and you need to talk to your peers, that what is the thing that you are choosing. And once you have decided that this material will cover the entire syllabus, stick to it, right? And most important part is you need to solve previous year question as well, so that will make you focused on the current syllabus, and what the exam asks for you.
Yes, definitely yes.
I
That
hope that helps.
Yes, that will definitely help. So, one question is coming up again and again. Attendees are asking one question. So, we have talked about so many strategies, how to pick the books, how to maintain, how to study. So now, student study kiya, pura tayari kiya 2 saal. Now comes the day exam, the D-day. It is there. And, so we have all the strategies we have studied. But, I would like, Angad, this question is for you. So, how can a student ensure that after all that on the day of the exam, amongst all the pressure that is there, how can a student maintain the speed and accuracy during the exam? As soon as you see the paper, some students are not sure कि कौन सा section उठा के पहले करें, how to pick which question takes the least time. There are so many things to identify when you sit. Of course, as Ritesh mentioned, you have to do previous question papers of previous exam to get a get a feel of how to give an exam and everything. But how to maintain speed and accuracy during the exam?
Thanks. So three things actually, point by point, which I like to talk about here. First is the mindset which is needed for the remaining days. So when we are actually very very close to the exam day, then I think the first point that I want to drive home here is that there are times in life when you should be open to learning, when you should be like open to experiment and try new things. And there are times in life when you should actually consolidate all your strengths and be on defensive. I think JEE or a competitive exam which is very intense is a time for the second mindset, not for the first mindset. So all the learnings, all the experiments, strategizing, everything, covering the syllabus that you have done already. Nothing material can change in the next 5 days, 7 days, 10 days. I think not new syllabus cannot be covered effectively. So if you have to be very confident that whatever I have studied so far, I just want to translate my preparation to performance. So forget your weaker points, forget your chapters that you are very weak at. Just focus on what your strengths are. And if you are be getting say X percentage in the like mock test, you should hope to get somewhere between X minus 10 to X plus 20. This is what you should aim for. You cannot get X plus 50 and you should not fall X minus 20 or X minus 30. So this is what basically you should aim for. So that is the mindset. So in the next few days, I would just say, revise all your own notes. Don't go to new books. Don't try new question papers. Revise your own notes. Revise the questions that you've already solved and go through them.
Yes.
Second is exam time strategy. So again, do not experiment at all with this. I would say whatever the strategy has been working very well for you, just use that. So if you have decided that I'll first do chemistry, then physics, then maths, then CPM, this is the order you should follow. I used to follow PCM. I used to do first physics, then chemistry, then maths. And I also had a strategy that physics I'll do in 1 hour, chemistry I'll do in around 35 minutes, maths I'll do in around 1 hour, 15 minutes, rest 15-20 minutes I'll keep for revision. So that was my strategy. I'm not saying that you should keep this. And of course, patterns also change every year. But basically, you should try to figure out what is going to be your strategy. And it could also be that, for instance, physics to mujhe utna aata hi nahi hai, I will spend more of my energy and time on chemistry and maths. Physics mein I'll try to get a respectable score only. So you reduce the time for physics and increase for maths, or like do it the other way. But basically, be very clear कि आपको जाके वहाँ पे करना क्या है, कौन सा क्वेश्चन पहले बनाना है, कौन सा चैप्टर और कौन सा सब्जेक्ट पहले बनाना है, so that एग्जाम में जाने के बाद नर्वसनेस ना हो. So that is second point. The third point is, and actually the third is quite unfortunate because I've seen a lot of very very smart and bright students fall into this, and it like just becomes very painful to watch because they don't get the rank that they deserve. What happens now? So JEE every year it is notorious for giving some trick questions, whether it's in physics, chemistry or maths. It will give you some questions which are not straightforward at all, or it will look straightforward, but if you get into the depth of it, actually you will see कि चारों option जो है, चारों option can be arrived at with different kinds of ways, but the right answer is actually a bit more subtle than what you thought. So उसमें क्या करना है कि हमें इस trap को avoid करने के लिए make a hard stop. That whichever question I'm attending, I'm not going to cross the time limit by this much. So let's say 60 questions, let's say आपको करने हैं अगर 180 मिनट में, which is 3 hours, तो हर question के लिए average अगर 3 मिनट मिलता है, तो हर क्वेश्चन में एग्जैक्टली 3 तो लगेगा नहीं. तो आई एम नॉट सेइंग कि 3 मिनट हो तो जस्ट मूव ऑन. आई एम सेइंग कि ट्राई to fix some like higher limit, जैसे 7 minutes या 8 minutes. अगर मैंने 7 या 8 मिनट का हार्ड लिमिट सेट कर लिया, तो क्या होगा, जो टफ क्वेश्चंस होंगे उसमें आई विल स्पेंड 7 minutes, and जो थोड़े easier होंगे उसमें I can do in 1 minute only. So 3 question I'm still able to do in 9 minutes, still comes to an average of 3 minutes per question. But अगर एक ही क्वेश्चन में अगर मैं 14 मिनट दे दूं, तो मुझे 5 क्वेश्चन और करने पड़ेंगे एक मिनट में to come to the same average. So and those 5 questions में the chance of a silly mistake is much higher. So that's why I'm saying कि चाहे कुछ भी हो जाए एग्जाम में, and like just I would just say like whoever is a student here, I think one tip I have to give for the exam. तो students चाहे कुछ भी हो जाए एग्जाम के पेपर में, do not spend more than 7-8 minutes on one question. एक क्वेश्चन से आपका रैंक उतना नहीं चेंज होगा, बट उसके वजह से अगर बाकी क्वेश्चंस छूट गए तो प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगी. तो चाहे कितना भी आपको लगे कि अरे ये तो मेरा फेवरेट चैप्टर है तो मुझे करना ही है, तो डोंट टेक इट ऑन योर ईगो और एनीथिंग ऑफ दैट सॉर्ट. उसको पार्क कर दीजिए, गोल बना के रख दीजिए, एग्जाम के एंड में रिवाइज करने के टाइम पे यू कैन अटेम्प्ट अगेन, बट डू नॉट फॉल इनटू दैट ट्रैप एंड set a hard limit so that you are able to stick. So yeah, these.
Yeah, thank you, Angad. Very well said. Not to spend too much time on a single question, and you already know which sequence to follow. You know which is your strength out of PCM, which is your strength and which is not, and you allot time accordingly, and just have a tolerance of time that you cannot spend a particular amount of more than a particular amount of time on single question.
All right. I would like to add something here, if you allow me.
Yeah, sure, Ritesh.
All right. So what strategy Anagh has given, I completely agree with him.
Yes.
Another thing that since Anagh is share from his own experience, and I am sharing from a teacher point of view. So these are the strategies. There's one more addition. So if you are one of those who's expecting top 100 rank or top 200 rank, all right, in that case, it is the case that you will be attempting all the questions. So it doesn't matter which one you start one with. If you are expecting top 100, top 200 rank, you know your entire syllabus well and you have practiced well, no doubt about it. But then IIT JEE rank goes from 200 to 2000, 5000, 10,000 also. So for those students, this is what I say. There's one more addition to what Anagh said, that always preview the question paper. First 5 minutes you should spend on your question paper going through what kind of questions have been asked. So say if you are going through all the mock or your coaching institute or all the question paper that you have a chance to go through, you should know where, I mean, what Anagh said, that in your test, if you are getting X marks, you are likely to get X plus 20 or X minus 10 in your final exam. So you know where you stand. So when you are preparing for those, in the final paper, or I'd say that in every paper, you should always preview the paper, that whether, say for example, in 2018 or 19, it does happen that math was lengthy. In some year, physics is tough. So those are the scenarios that if you are attempting all the questions in sequence, you may fall prey to that speed bump or pitfall that is there, which has been created for you. So first 5 minutes or maybe 10 minutes, it's not a waste of time. First 5 minutes or 7 minutes, go through the entire paper, see if you can, or this is what I suggest students in my classroom, that mark those questions as easy, medium, tough based on your understanding. Say for example, if my rotation or rigid body dynamics is very strong but thermodynamics is not so strong, so I should not attempt my thermodynamic question even if it is the first question. But if it is an easy one, sure, I may go for it. So you should always mark easy, medium and tough question based on your preparation level. And if you look at the IIT, especially IIT advanced exam, if you score 60%, 70%, it's a very good score in that exam. So you don't need to, I mean, for top 100, 200 rank, of course, you need to attempt more than 90% and get it right as well. But for, others, 50, 60, 70 is a very good score. So you should identify the questions that you are comfortable with, and attempt those more. You can have any order: physics, chemistry, math, it doesn't matter. Chemistry, usually students, they take chemistry first because they find it slightly easier. So C, P, M, or M, whatever order you want to take. But in that physics paper, first, when you are spending time in physics, first, say for example 1 hour in physics, so first 40 minutes or 30 minutes should go for easy question, then move on to chemistry. Right, it's slightly different than what Anang said, but then move on to chemistry, do easy questions of chemistry, then move on to mathematics, do easy questions of mathematics. In that case, in 1.5 hours, you have made sure that your cutoff is clear. And then in next 1.5 hour, you will maximize your rank. So instead of finding out towards the end whether time किसी सवाल पे ज़्यादा time लग गया, कम लग गया, नहीं लगाना चाहिए था, those cases they happen every year. And what Anang has mentioned, this is what I say in my classroom as well. किसी topic पे, किसी सवाल पे ego नहीं पालें, है ना? Doesn't matter ये सवाल आपसे हुआ या नहीं हुआ. I see those students every year. वो कहते हैं सर इसका सवाल आया था, probability का सवाल तो ऐसा हो ही नहीं सकता मेरे से ना
मेरा
हो.
फेवरेट सब्जेक्ट था.
और
मैं तो करूं.
अगर टफ आ गया तो कैलकुलस का, इंटीग्रेशन का अगर टफ सवाल आ गया, सो देन इन दैट केस यू शुड बी एबल टू आइडेंटिफाई कि टफ सवाल है. अगर इस पे ईगो पाल ही रखी है, करना ही है, आई मीन दैट इज वन थिंग, आई मीन इट्स नॉट अ बैड थिंग, ठीक है, इफ यू आर अ गो गेटर, बट उसको एंड में करेंगे. पहले जितने आसान वाले लड्डू हैं, दैट्स व्हाट आई से इन माय क्लासरूम, वो पहले खा लो. जितने नंबर फटाफट 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 मिल रहे हैं, जो एक एक मिनट में सॉल्व हो रहे हैं, आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट मेंस, जो एक एक मिनट में सॉल्व हो रहे हैं, उनको फटाफट 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 सॉल्व करो. देन गो टू जिनमें आपके 2 मिनट लग सकते हैं, देन गो टू जिनमें 2-3 मिनट से ज्यादा का टाइम लग सकता है. So this is what I would like to add on that.
Yes, thank you, Ritesh. So do not treat your paper like your DPPs that you have to do everything. You know, we very choosy, we very picky. Already have a strategy in mind when you go to attempt the paper and do your best. There is one more question I would like to ask you, Ritesh. So, there is so much pressure, there is so much stress while you're preparing, the exam is there, but just during the preparation only itself, there is so much, especially this year, you see, due to the COVID, there are multiple exam dates being changed. There are parents who are not, everybody is locked down. People are not sure how to, go about it. एक एग्जाम, एक मीन्स हुआ था जनवरी में, अगली की डेट चेंज होती गई. घर पे बैठे बैठे स्टूडेंट्स आर लाइक अब क्या करें, कैसे करें. सो हाउ टू मैनेज इन सच अ स्ट्रेसफुल टाइम? व्हाट शुड बी योर एडवाइस फॉर द स्टूडेंट्स एंड फॉर द पेरेंट्स?
ऑलराइट, वेरी गुड क्वेश्चन, और स्पेशली बहुत रेलिवेंट है. एंड आई वाज गोइंग थ्रू द Q&A as well, so I'm sure you are going to take some of them, but I happen to glance through one or two questions, and students are saying this COVID or this entire pandemic situation has made them lonely, and that is one of the question that I can see on the window. And there are so many other things that has happened during this year. I have created a long video for this. I mean, 10-15 minutes video on my YouTube channel. Title है किन लोगों का होगा इस साल selection, है ना? Strategy क्या होनी चाहिए and all that stuff. So if you want to go through, you can go through that. I will cover some snippets of that. So first thing is, this is what I say. First thing is, you need to be focused on your exam. You need to be focused on what you want to do, and why you want to do IIT JEE exam. So that is one thing. So if you are clear, focus, I understand these external factors are there, and they are not in your control, they are not in my control, they are, for that matter, not in anybody's control. Even our government or people, they are not sure. Doctors, nobody is sure what's going to happen next. It can happen next 2 days. I mean, there are still few days for the exam, so it can happen that government might decide, Supreme Court might say something, so it can change the date. But you should not lose focus. You should be focused on what you need to do. That is very important, very crucial for you guys. So, I mean, to master any subject, so especially what you can do it during this time is, I mean, to master any subject or to prepare for this exam, you need 3 things. First is concept clarity. Second is you need to remember your formulas. You can be, or I can be very good in, let's say, rotation or NLM or any other chapter. But if I do not remember my formula, it might happen that I may not be able to score or solve that question in the exam. That will hamper my performance, and that will hamper my confidence for sure. So you need to remember your formulas. Well, what you can do is in last few days, you can write all those formulas down. Just sit or maybe lie down and think about, all right, this is my chapter KTG. What was the formula? What is, I mean, I will take few physics example. What is RMS speed and what is the pressure? And when we talk about any, what is the electric field due to a ring? All those formula that you can remember, write them down. Don't go through your notes for that. Just think about the chapter, think about the reaction, think about anything, and just sitting down or lying down, just write all those formulas. If you are not able to remember something, don't panic. Just note down that I forgot this and then go back to it later on. It is not a right away activity. You can refer to those chapters and those notes later on. But as many formulas as you can remember, write them down. That is one of the most important thing for any exam. You need to remember your formulas. You can be the best conceptual student, but if you don't remember your formulas in your exam hall, you will not be able to solve the question. That's it. Next, and the most important part is practice, practice, practice. Practice lots and lots of question. Concept, clarity, formula, they are very important. After that, it's practice. So whatever happens, practice. In last few days, you can practice previous year question. I emphasize a lot on previous year question because they work at the same level on which your match is, or same pitch on which your match is going to happen. So you should be very used to the pitch because you are going to play there. And then there are times, I mean, for this COVID, especially students are saying that I'm feeling lonely, I'm feeling sad, I'm not that focused. Few days I study and then I don't study for next couple of days and I don't know what to do. And they are good students. And these are all exceptional circumstances which is happening because of what is happening, and things are not in our control. So this is what I suggest to all my students and everybody who's listening to this. You need to do 3 steps. First is if you want to bring back your focus to your studies. So these are the 3 steps you need to focus on and you need to practice on. First is go back to your happy place. What do I mean by that is that whenever you think you are not focused and all those depression, I mean, or sadness thoughts are going on, go back to your happy place. I am sure when you were in class 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, so people or students, your peers, your friends and your teachers, everybody used to say that, अब तेरे से ये कैसे हो जाता है? How come you just excel in your exam? So that was your happy place. So with respect to your studies, start with that happy place. Think about that happy place when you were unstoppable. At least in your head, in your confidence, you were like that. Whatever may happen, I am not going to fail my exam. Whatever might happen, I will do well. So you had that confidence. Start with that. Next is stop procrastinating. Especially when regular classrooms are going on, we have a routine. You have to be in your classroom and teacher is gonna be there. He is gonna ask whether you have done your homework, and you will have your friends, you will have your competitors who have done homework and who are giving answers in the classroom, and you are not. So those were the external motivators, and since they are missing at that point in time, so students, they too do tend to procrastinate. My request is stop doing that. Stop using social media. There's nothing important on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram which is of any use, any important for of any importance to any student who is preparing for IIT JEE. That is one thing. So stop using these social media. They are distracting. Stop doing that. Say for example, if I give you my own example, when I was preparing for my IIT JEE exam, it was, I mean, I might sound old when I say this. Uh, it was the time when 92 World Cup was going on. I mean, 92 World Cup, Cricket World Cup was going on. Then there used to be only one channel or Doordarshan, and that used to be my distraction. And I was watching cricket match, and my father, he said, "Why are you not studying?" I said, "Oh, Cricket World Cup, and this is the once in a 4 year thing, and it's not gonna happen again." So then he made me understand this, that it doesn't matter in your life what will happen in this cricket match, but what will happen in your exam day, what will happen in your exam hall, that's going to matter a lot in your life. And if in 2020, if I look back in my life, it really doesn't matter what happened in that 92 Cricket World Cup, isn't it?
Exactly.
So this is
Exactly.
what I say to all my students, that stop distracting yourself, so stop procrastinating. And last thing, and the most important thing that I say to all my students is analyze your day. Usually this is the third step. So usually what students, they end up doing, or this is what end up happening, is that they analyze their week or maybe a month, कि मैंने पूरा महीना बर्बाद कर दिया, हाय आई हैवंट डन एनीथिंग ऑन दिस. सो पूरा एक महीना मैंने कुछ नहीं किया, पूरा एक हफ्ता मैंने कुछ नहीं किया. I always suggest that analyze your day at least twice or maybe thrice every day. सो 4 घंटे बाद एनालाइज करो कि पिछले 4 घंटे मैंने क्या किया है. एंड इफ दैट इज द केस, दैट यू रियलाइज दैट पिछले 4 घंटे आई हैवंट डन एनीथिंग, आई हैवंट accomplished anything, don't beat yourself, just get up and start doing again. एज सिंपल एज दैट. अगले 4 घंटे बाद फिर वैल्यूएट करो, मैंने ये पढ़ लिया, ये पढ़ लिया, ये कर लिया, ये सवाल हो गए, ये हो गए. एंड इफ दैट इज द केस, सो यू विल गेट बैक ऑन द प्रैक्टिस, एंड डजंट मैटर व्हाट इज हैपनिंग आउटसाइड, you focus on your own exam, right? So this is what I would
Thank
say.
you,
This is how,
Ritesh.
yeah.
That was very helpful. So, just adding to that, I would just like to say that ki just consider that एक situation की वजह से, you guys have got some extra time, or it's not like कि something you're lagging behind या time waste है. I agree, पढ़ने का मन नहीं करता है बहुत बार, but that's the case with the entire batch. You should consider that's the case with the entire batch. आपके साथ के जितने भी बच्चे हैं, so everybody who are gonna be in your batch, everybody is facing the same situation. There is nobody is exceptional here. So जो फीलिंग्स और इमोशंस, बोर्डनेस या प्रेशर आप एक्सपीरियंस कर रहे हो, एवरीबडी इज एक्सपीरियंसिंग द सेम. The only thing that would matter now will be your attitude towards this situation. How would you take this situation? Will you say कि अरे यार अब बहुत ज्यादा और टाइम भी खिंचता जा रहा है? Will you say yes, I have got 5 months extra and now I need to, if I was lagging somewhere, I have to use this time and try to pull up my rank? It's just your attitude. And like Ritesh mentioned, just try to analyze your day. Try to stop procrastinating, as in ये चीज चलो मैं कल कर लूंगा, ये कल कर लूंगा, कल कर लूंगा नहीं करना है, प्रोक्रास्टिनेट नहीं करना. जस्ट ट्राई टू यूज द इंटायर सिचुएशन to your benefit. So that, I think that is what Ritesh wanted to say, the entire thing. uh, uh, इतना एफर्ट लगा रहे हैं, we are trying 2 years, 3 years of our life, we are just giving to an exam and everything. So much effort goes, so much hardship is there while the preparation. So there is one question that everybody keeps asking, and it comes up every now and then: is it really worth it? So Anang, what are your thoughts? Do you think IIT seat is really worth all the sacrifice and effort that people make? That's the hot topic.
Yeah, I think I would have loved to get into details of it, but since we are running over time, so I'll give it very crisp. I think, yeah, the answer is it depends. I won't say if it's yes or no, but I think for a vast majority of this country, it does make sense. I think for someone who's coming from like my background, middle class background, or anyone with an aspirational background, doesn't really have to be socioeconomic in nature, but anyone who has an aspiration to do something in the country, I think the IIT system provides an excellent platform for that. And the merits of the exam, demerits of the exam, that I think those discussions are not very helpful. What is helpful is what have IITs produced over the last 50 years, and I think IITs have produced some of the finest professionals, businessmen, CEOs even leaders,
Yes.
scientists, and so on. I think, and these are like shoulders of giants that we are standing on. I'm very, very grateful to whatever the system has given me. So, yep, but this is one chapter which I go into detail actually in my book, and that is what I even before preparing for IIT, just figure out why do you want to go to an IIT, because
Would
this
you like
question.
to mention a little bit about your book?
Yep. So, this book I wrote over 2 years, I would say, after graduating. I think that was the right time to sway it, because right after the JEE exam, I was not mature enough, and I had not experienced IIT so far. So I met many more people during IIT, and I thought maybe it's the right time to share it with people. So I started writing in 2018 and just published in July. Uh, and have been getting very, very good reviews, very heartwarming reviews. So that has been great. As I said, most of my thoughts I've developed over the last 2 years. Nothing new, and I've tried to put in the book. So if anyone in the audience gets a chance, you can actually go ahead and get it. It's available on all major marketplaces in India, US, and UK as of now. That's pretty much it from my end. I would have loved to get into details, but
Yeah, I know we
we
are
are
running
actually
over
running out of
time.
time, and I am
Uh,
mindful of students' times also, because exam is very, very close.
yes,
So all
yes,
the best,
definitely.
everyone. Hope to see you in some other form any other day. And thank you.
Definitely, we would like you to be the part of a series in next webinars. Thank you so much for your time, Anang and Ritesh. It was wonderful talking to you guys, and it was a pleasure to have you guys on board with us with this series. And
Thank you so
definitely, we
much.
are gonna have more sessions in this series where we're gonna help and advise students. And this session I think will definitely helpful for many aspirants. Now I would like to hand over to Ravinder for the thank you notes.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you. Uh, Sorry, Natasha. I'm audible
Yes, sir, you are.
because
Thanks a
I
lot,
was
sir.
totally relaxed mood watching and listening, and you all took me back to 1983 when I wrote my JEE. In our time, it used to never. They used to say JEE cleared, JEE cracked. Whether you were
Yes.
really able to move. That may remind me of the one incident in Mahabharata. Whenever Karn used to, shoot an arrow toward the Arjun. Uh, and even he move 1 inch also the chariot, Krishna will say, see how strong he is. And Arjun used to get perplexed. He said, I am doing so much, but you never appreciate me. And he told, see, I am sitting on this chariot, and above me, in the flag, the Lord Hanuman is there, and he is able to. When I am sitting, the Brahmand is sitting on is moving the whole Brahmand, even though he's moving with small inch or a small centimeter, but still he is able to move. So that is shows his strength. So IIT exam was like that. Even you move a little bit of question. I'm talking about my 1983 point of view. You can see the 83 JEE exam. It was four exam used to be 3 hours each, 2 days, one night you have to sleep also before this. So that was in our time. Kitna move kiya, kitna hilaya, kitna move kiya. That was the only will decide the success. So in our time was it's all based on thinking, not much of a study, a few correspondence course. There was no coaching as such. So and the JEE pattern also evolved. But yes, I am very thankful the Anang and Ritesh and you have taken to the discussion very a different level, and I sure that participant and attendees and the parents and they who are watching in India and abroad, they'll get benefited because you are taken, you have covered almost from all angles. See, I would like to here in this concluding this first seminar, and we'll have a webinar series where we have a guys who can be, discussing in the Hindi medium, because a lot of our aspirants cannot grasp the in English. So we have kept certain series where the person who can share more ideas can push in Hindi. So it is open, or we'll have English also. So that is another I would like to tell you. See, the format slightly will change because the director, we are in request the director, so slightly we overshoot the time. But I hope the time was very good and you have all enjoyed. And I would like to give 2-3 points before we conclude the today's session. First thing is I'm just give my idea of why you should join IIT Delhi. Well, it's my alma mater. I'm IIT Delhi Alumni President also. And I'll tell you why you should join and why am telling you to join the IIT Delhi. That is the one part I would like to discuss in my talk. And Second point I want to discuss this, how those students who are appearing this time in the JEE will be different from the other aspirants who have appeared already in the past, or those are likely to appear in the future. How this generation is going to is different from other, how and how, what they have achieved already in terms of skill set, and that I will discuss. And so with this three major points, and then lastly I will discuss, because this is watched by our alumni also, that what the IT director has said and what we have achieved in last 1 hour discussion also. I mean, how the alumni has responded. I'll share those things also. So this is the thing I am going to share in the just a couple of minutes. So first thing is IIT Delhi. Why you should join IIT Delhi? IIT Delhi, all IIT, there's an IT system which work in collaborative and competitive system. When I say collaborative, all IITs adopt each other best practice. So all IIT, they adopt each other best practice, because after all, IITs have one common brand. Then we have the competitiveness. I mean, all IIT compete, the best talent should come to each, to the particular IIT. Like I want the JEE ranker, or the top ranker, JEE rank 1, 2, 3 should come to IIT Delhi. So that is the all IIT compete for the talent also. So then what is the uniqueness? I mean, why you should join a particular IIT? So if you talk about IIT Delhi has a multidisciplinary approach in teaching. They have the immersive teaching. So if you, the learning is very diverse in IIT Delhi. You can see the IIT Delhi alumni. You can, what is the first name will come? You said the Rajat Gupta. He was the first Indian to had any global institute, global organization. Then you have the Vinod Khosla. He was the co-founder of Microsoft, the Java platform, no? Who was main instrumental in internet, promoting the internet technology. The Java was the major technology role played in the internet technology spread. Then we have the Raghu Ram Rajan. Recently he was a big one. Then we have a Sachin Bansal, Vinay Bansal, the Flipkart guys, and so lot of IITs have done remarkably in almost all. You have, they are writers, they are scientists, they are engineers. Some of them, I mean, politicians are there. So IIT teaching, IIT Delhi given an environment where you can become whatever you want. It gives the teaching is fluid thinking. You can take whatever shape you want. See, the JEE entrance exam, just what the Ritesh says, yes, you have to follow all the strategy, because they are the person who spend day, night, time to hone the skills of the aspirants, and they sense what is, I mean, the demand or the requirement on the society. So that is, yes, you have to take their Anagh and Ritesh's advice very, very seriously. At least I find the thoughts very useful. So IIT Delhi recently was considered as a term #1 engineering institute in the India Today. Just 1 month back, given the ranking, IIT was 47 rank in QS World Ranking in engineering and technology institute in the world. And the most important part about the IIT Delhi is that every second unicorn founder of Indian origin on this earth is IIT Delhi guy. That is what our strength. We are by nature entrepreneurs. What is entrepreneur? Who take the risk? See the Ritesh, what he is doing. He has seen his introduction, that how many kind of language he know, how many of field he have taken. So we are like that. I mean, just the IIT Delhi gives you that type of, you have a management school, you have a graduation school, post graduations are there, researchers are there. Now 60% we are the PhD students. We have interdisciplinary courses there, multidisciplinary courses are there. And so IIT, you can go to website, you can find out, you can do Google search. So IIT Delhi will offer what, not only the beautiful campus in India, but something else which other IIT is not offering. But that doesn't mean that they are not good. They are very good. I say IIT system, we are working collaborative and competitive spirit. We are collaborating. When you go to abroad, we have 52,000 alumni across the world. It's like an extended family. So you go, when you clear your JEE exam, then you come to IIT, and after IIT, the alumni support is there. It's like lifelong support. Once you come to our IIT Delhi family, it's a like lifelong support system is there. Even I am beneficiary, that's why I'm sharing my ideas. So that is IIT Delhi uniqueness and the things which will benefit you in your future. So when you have the because you are a student only for 4 years or 5 years or 2 years or the PhD time or your MTech, but you are alumni throughout your life. So that is what the IIT Delhi and IIT system as such produce. Now coming to the second point, all for 7.5 lakhs student who has downloaded admit cards, I consider them as a leader, as the hero, because what they have worked in UACA environment. UACA is acronym which was coined in 1987 when I graduated from IIT Delhi. That year, the two theorist, behavioralists, they give the idea. Leadership when theory, they give the idea. One his name is Bunny and one is Bird. They give this idea. V stand for volatility. U stand for uncertainty. C stand for complexity. And A stand for ambiguity. And all four characteristics are available in the COVID time. You have seen the uncertain time. IIT JEE has been postponed 2 times. It was scheduled in April, then it came into July, then it has come into September, and people are not sure that how the JEE Advanced will go. So already uncertainty. You have seen the uncertainty. In spite of all uncertainty about the JEE, you have taken a resolve to appear for the IIT JEE exam. That makes you the future leader. If you ask me which is batches which are going to make to the difference to the IIT system or to the overall society or to the nation or to the global community, I'm very certain that those batches who are joining IIT or IIT system or NIT or other public university by qualifying these exam JEE will make a difference, because what they are going to learn in the future after graduating from IIT, from the management, they already imbibe all these things. They already imbibe work from home, learning from home, uncertainty, environment, ambiguity is there. They already have acquired all those skills, which will make them to lead not only to do well in their education when they are in the IIT or NIT or public, but in their career, in their personal growth. So those who are appearing this year, I already salute them and I tell them they are already hero. But only thing that they should keep, they should live with this resolve. They should have the mental agility. They should keeping that mental resilience intact. They should not get worried. They should not have anxiety. This is life has thrown one challenge, but you know that all adversity produce the leaders. When there is everything goody, leaders are not born. The situation throws the leadership. So all those who are 7.5 lakhs students who are downloaded admit card for JEE Main, they are leaders. As far I am concerned, they are leaders. They are going to impact the society in which way, which we have not imagined. See, we are learning. I'm 55 years old. We are learning. We are adapting. But they already at this tender age, they have adapted themselves to new reality, the new normal. And so definitely I'm going to see that they are already successful, and they should not give, if they are, do not make to the IIT as such, they should not feel hurted because the life is beyond IIT. Life is beyond IIT, life is beyond JEE, and life must go on. And with that, I thanks and everybody, and I'll just quote Mahatma Gandhi, which what he said, that if I have the belief that I can do it, I shall surely acquire the capacity to do it, even if may not have it at the beginning. Jai Hind.
Well
This
said,
with
sir.
all, I add my talk to the IIT JEE aspirant, student, parent. I wish them all very good luck. And we are always there. IIT Delhi Alumni website is there. You can approach us. And already in 1 hour, when after our IIT Delhi director has given the address, already I will just update in what has happened in this 1 hour discussion. The CAPS is already mobilized when EBS, this is 2000 batch, Jwala Aram, he has passed out from Jwala. He has 2002 batch. He has one cab called by EBS. He will ready to provide the cabs. He is portal is already almost ready, where the student and parents can approach. Those who are needy, those are from economic background, poor background, who could not afford. Already my Mukul Singla, he is executive committee member who's looking after the all database and digital infrastructure. He has updated me on the executive committee WhatsApp group that our portal is almost ready. Then another, Mr. Rohit Kosi is the past president of IIT Delhi Alumni Association. He has told already UP government is working on dial 100. If you dial 100, the cab will be arranged. So already some progress has been made. We'll update you as soon we makes more progress. But this initiative, I appeal to all alumni, their family member, their friends and students, everybody. It's like a crisis. So all, like we have the COVID warrior, like we had doctors, health caregivers, warriors. We have now the new the police act as a COVID warrior. Now I want IIT Delhi alumni, IIT Delhi fraternity, IIT Delhi student should work as a COVID warrior, help the aspirant IIT Delhi aspirant for JEE exams to give them facility, those who are struggling for finance or struggling for the transportation, or they are not having the coach. We can have the coach around, we have already have around 50,000 coach with us. We can give that. So whatever best we'll try to give. Thanks for your passion sharing, all attendees, and thank you very much, Natasha. I have given only 3 days notice. Ritesh and this thing, you have done well, extremely well. In 3 days time, you have done extremely well. Satish has taken all the lead. All my executive committee members has supported. They come with a lot of suggestion how to make this thing idea. And the future belongs to the new executive committee members. Natasha, they are the young alumni in the executive committee. They are taking lead. Natasha has recently, the Poonam Lade was there. She is taking the lead. So all alumni, younger and all senior, and all are taking interest. I'm very fortunate to have such a executive committee member, all very different knowledge, very enthusiastic. Thank you all executive committee members. I behalf director also was just 4 o'clock, 4:30 he called me, and within 1 hour time he has agreed to be part and he has this. Thank you very much. Thank you all. Thank you, Natasha. Thank you. I see Josna is there, and thank all my executive committee member. Thank you all. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much.
Jai Hind, sir. Thank you so much for your
Thank you,
time. Thank you,
I would just
everyone.
say to the students, keep positive, whether you are attending coaching classes or not, just keep your concepts clear. Everything would be fine. Just go ahead and appear for the exams. And it was a good discussion. Natasha, you arranged it well.
Thank you.
Ritesh,
Thank you so
and
much. Yeah.
thank you so much.
It was very well organized. Thank you. Questions were really good.
So Natasha needs one good round of applause.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
All the best to all the candidates
all
appearing this year for the exam, and best of luck. And as Ravi sir mentioned, you can reach out to us anytime on our website at IIT Delhi Alumni Association.com, and we are always happy to help. Thank you so much for attending.
And we'll welcome you on the campus also.
Yes, definitely. IIT Delhi campus is always open.
Yeah, it's always there.
There would be many mentors to help you out.
Yeah. Thank you, Joseph. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.